Okay, what's up, y'all? This is your girl, Coach NaQuandra, and what's going on? So, I just want to encourage you today and hopefully provide some aspect to help you be more self aware and also to help you understand your mind while you are building whatever it is God has called you to build. So, if you don't know, I thoroughly enjoy reading the book of Nehemiah. And just to give a synopsis in his story, he took upon himself to rebuild the wall to Jerusalem. If you don't know, the wall was very vital because it was their form of protection around the city. And so the wall had been destroyed in some parts, and so Nehemiah saw the burden and he went forth, prayed, went forth, and rebuilt the wall. And so immediately in this story, as you begin to read it, you see that some enemies or haters, as we like to call them, rose up against the plan that Nehemiah had set in his heart. And these enemies, their name were Sanballat and Tobiah, and they literally were wreaking havoc against this man. But as I was reading a particular scripture, I was like, you know what? Sometimes Sanballat and Tobiah are not external. Sometimes and a lot of times they're internal, meaning they're the voice that's speaking to you negatively in your head is your inner critic. And so I just want to read to you this scripture in Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 2. It says, "And he spoke before his brethren and the army of Samaria and said, what are these?" And this is Sanballat speaking. He said, what are these feeble Jews doing? Will they fortify themselves? Will they offer sacrifices? Will they complete it in a day? Will they revive the stones from the heap of rubbish, stones that are burned? And then Tobiah says, whatever they build, even if a fox goes up on it, he will break down their stone wall. So they were basically discrediting everything that Nehemiah had placed in his heart to do. And sometimes when we get a big idea, we get a goal, or even we do actually step out on faith and try to make something happen, you hear those voices in your head saying, it's not going to work, it doesn't make sense, it's not adding up, nobody's going to support it, I don't have what I need, etc., 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 and you get deterred. And so if that's you, too frequently, because sometimes, we're human, we're going to have negative thoughts, we're going to have people speak against us, but if you find yourself way too often submitting to those voices, submitting to those lies, I want you to go and read this book. And I also want you to encourage yourself intently when you hear the lie, when you hear the negativity, when you hear the pushback, intently speak the opposite against what the message is that's going on in your mind. Because everything we do and don't do starts in your mind. It starts with a thought. And so you have to begin the process of retraining your thought pattern. You may have developed this from childhood through your experiences through life, but that doesn't mean your mindset can't change. And I've been saying this for the past month. Your business is only going to go as far as your character will take you, right? As far as your mindset can hold and is stable enough, right? So if you have a shaky mindset, your faith is probably also shaky. And so you're going to have to be intentional. You might feel like you're treating yourself like a child, but guess what? That's okay. Because sometimes we need to be treated like a child. And the Lord said, come to me with childlike faith, okay? And so if you have to treat yourself like a child and really like stand in the mirror and affirm yourself or get a piece of paper and write it down, whatever, do what's necessary because your vision cannot fall. A lot of people don't get past the first couple stages in their business. Why? Because their mindset isn't strong enough, because they feel like they don't have the support, so they quit. They come against one hurdle, so they quit, right? And I'm talking about myself because there's many things that I've started and quit because I didn't have support, or I came against something that was trying, that tested me, that stretched me, and I couldn't handle the stretching at that time. And so don't always look at external people and things as the reason that you are in a stuck place or stagnant. It very well could be because of the way that your inner critic is speaking to you. All right. So if this encourages, this makes sense to you, Leave a comment, leave a message. Also, affirm yourself in the comments. Like, what message is your inner critic saying to you? And then what are you going to say back to your inner critic? Put it in the comments so that we can touch and agree with you. Okay. This your girl, Coach NaQuandra. Talk soon. And if you haven't already, ask me about the night after Christmas.